We're back with another awesome video. We're going to be painting our glow in the dark piece that you see here. So we're painting this right here. And again, this is fun, nothing to be stressed about. All right, supposed to be having fun with this, guys. We got 6 colors of paint here. We got white, black, fluorescent yellow orange, fluorescent pink, and ultramarine blue. We got our 3 brushes that I'm using, large, medium, and small, piece of paper towel, and a cup of water to wash out your brushes. And the painting is done. This is actually done on a 16 by 20, but I'm going to be using a 12 by 16 for this video, okay? So again, welcome to our Glow in the Dark session. My name is Mark with Life and Art. And all right, let's have some fun. All right, we're going to go step by step and paint your masterpiece, your fun masterpiece, okay? Remember, this is fun art, it's not fine art, but your painting should look great just the same, all right? So I'm going to start with the big brush, everyone. I'm going to start with the big brush. I'm going to dip it in the water here. And I'm going to tap my brush on the paper towel just to get it moist and ready to work for me. See that? Okay, there we go. Feeling good. And guys, this painting right here, we're going to go from top to bottom but without washing the brush, okay? We're going to go from top to bottom. We got some blue. Then we're going to go into our bright pink. Then we're going to go to light pink. And then we're going to go back to blue. All right, so we're going from top to bottom. And I'm going to start with my ultramarine blue. All right. So as you can see, the blue is, if you want to make your blue less, you want to paint a smaller portion of blue, that's fine as well. But as you can see, the blue is like almost like a third from the top down. And I'm just going side to side with my brush for the blue paint here. Just gonna make it a little bit, dab a little bit with my brush, do a little dab in here. I'm going to add a little bit more extra blue at the top, just kind of make the top a little bit darker up here with some extra blue. All right, and I'm just kind of dabbing with my brush, Now you can make it smooth as well, just side to side. You can dab, it's your masterpiece, and just have fun with it, guys. Just have fun with it. All right, so I'm just going to add a little bit more blue on this top section here. So just give it a little bit of a darker shade up here. All right. There we go. Now, remember what I said earlier that we're not going to wash the brush. So here's what we're going to do. I think I'm going to stop my blue right about there. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to take the brush and whatever paint is left on the brush, I'm just going to rub it off on the canvas, just like that below. Just rub it off on the canvas below, just like that, because we're not washing, all right? We're not washing. So once you rub off that blue paint, what we're going to do, we're going to go to our pink, all right? So we're going to go with the fluorescent pink. And what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to start a little bit below where my blue sky, my blue portion ended, and I'm just going to work my way up a little bit and do a little overlap with the blue and the pink so that the colors can just kind of blend in nice and give us a nice gradient look. All right, so I start a little bit below where I ended with the blue, and then I just kind of work my way up, doing an overlap with my pink and my blue. so that we can just kind of get a nice little blend and nice little overlap there. All right. And I'm going to go down maybe an inch or two, about about 2 inches or 3 inches or so with my bright pink. And I'm just going side to side with the big pink with my big brush here. All right. Now, painters, remember, if you want to, you can always paint the edges of your canvas. Uh, that is fine. I'm not going to be painting mine, but if you want to, that is fine. So here we go. I'm just going to brush out my line here. Just going to brush out a little bit here so my colors can just kind of blend in, fade in together nice and give us a nice little look there. All right, there we go. And let me see, I'm going to come right here with my bright pink, and then I'm going to transition to a lighter pink, okay? So what I'm going to do when I'm transitioning, I'm going to just rub out whatever paint is on my brush right here. Again, just rub it out right there below. So far we got our blue. We transition to the bright pink. And what we're going to do now, as you can see on this painting, we're going to transition to a light pink. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some pink and I'm going to take some white on my brush at the same time, all right, so that we can get a light pink. So I'm going to start my light pink a little bit below the bright pink and then work my way up with an overlap. So there we go. Work my way up with an overlap so that the colors can just blend right in together. So again, I'm taking up pink and I'm taking up white. Pink and white on the brush. And we're getting a light pink. Now, when you're using the black lights, the white will look a little bit pale as if it's not there, but it is there. You can see the difference that it's now a lighter pink. And you'll see it much better, when you turn on the lights afterwards. All right. So I'm just going to brush in nice and easy on my line right here where the two colors meet so that they can just kind of blend right in. So I'm going to take a little bit more of white and pink. Just take it down a little bit more, and then we're going to transition back to the blue paint. All right. The blue is going to be the last color that we're adding to the background. So we started with blue, we're going to end with blue. All right. So you can see the blend, you can see how they just gel, the colors just gel. All right, we got the darker blue at the top. Remember, I put a little extra blue, a little extra blue on the top there just to make it a little bit darker. And then we transitioned to the bright pink. Then we transitioned to the light pink. And now whatever is left on your brush, just rub it off below, just like that. Just put this on my easel. And what we're going to do, we're going to go back to blue. So again, same strategy. We're going to start below the light pink and work our way up and do a little overlap with the blue and the light pink, okay? So we can have the colors just kind of blend right in. So we start below and work our way up. Start below, work your way up so that you can just do that overlap, all right? And I'm just brushing over where the two colors meet. I'm just rubbing over it with my brush so that they can just blend right in. So you see how it's blended in right there? That's what we want to do. That's what we want to see. We don't want the line to be so defined, right? We just want to blend it in, just like how we blended that in just there. Just use your brush and just brush on the line so the two colors can just kind of fade in together, all right? And That's it for our background, y'all. I'm going to wash up my big brush right here. So we're doing great so far. We are doing great so far. Let me just make sure that we're rocking and rolling on the recorder. Okay, there we go. All right, so I just washed up my big brush and I'm just wiping it on the paper towel. All right, guys, we are doing great. So here's what we want to do now. We want to start adding a few little details, all right? We're going to add these two pieces of land from both sides of the canvas, all right? And for that, I'm going to be using black paint, but I'm just going to give this just a minute or two to dry, all right? Actually, I have an extra plate here. I'll just, you can use a blow dryer, you can use a fan. Um, I got fans, but they're a little bit away from me right now. So I'm just going to use this little plate and just kind of fanning it a little bit. Just give it a 2-minute dry time. All right, before we start adding some detail, adding some of that detail that we're looking at there, okay? So how is your painting looking so far? Are you proud of your work so far, guys? I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. So again, remember the setup. We are using fluorescent paint for the most part. And for the glow in the dark painting, you're going to need the black lights or the fluorescent lights. And those you can get on Amazon, okay? You can get the strips, you can get the bulbs, you can get the panels, whichever works for you, all right? Whichever works best for you. But you can get the black lights on Amazon.com for your sessions. Thanks again, guys, for being a part of the video. And I know that you will enjoy your glow in the dark painting. It's a fun experience. It's a very fun experience. And, the glow just causes it to just like wow, right? It gives it that wow effect. All right, I think let me fan this one more time, and I'm gonna start adding my details there. All right. So again, remember you can use a blow dryer. Just turn it low. All right, and you can also use a fan. I normally use fans here at the studio. I don't really use the blow dryer, but you can use one if you want to, or you can use a fan. All right, guys. So here's the deal. Since I'm using a smaller canvas this time, I'm going to switch to the smallest brush I have. I'm going to go to my small brush. So again, remember we have large, medium, and small. If you're using a 16 by 20 canvas, you can use the medium brush, or you can use the small brush. For this step, it doesn't really matter. All right. I'm gonna wet my brush in the water, just kind of wipe it on the paper towel. You don't need to tap this one, just wipe it. We're just gonna add those two pieces of land there, and as you can see, what we want to do, we want to keep them level on the same level, right, on both sides. And we want to leave that opening in the middle. We want to leave that opening in the middle, all right? So of course, we're using the color black. And I want to put my two little lands there just below the bright pink, okay? So just below the bright pink area, that's where I want to put my two little lands. So I'm gonna start it somewhere here. I'm gonna just come out right about here. Let me see, stop right there. And again, remember, we're trying to keep it on the same level as best as possible, right? So let me see, I'm gonna maybe like here. All right, that looks level enough. It looks level enough. All right, so I'm gonna do that first, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add a little bit of make a little thickness to my line here. Add some mass to the land before I add my little grass popping up there on the ground. And you can make it a bit bumpy if you want to, that's fine. Over here, same thing. Guys, remember, have fun with your painting. Stop right there. And then what I'm going to do, y'all, I'm going to take my brush to make my little grass popping up there. If you want to make your grass tall, that's fine. If you want to make them short, that's fine. But I'm just using my brush to just kind of flick up with the point of my brush. I'm using the point just to do a few little flicks. You can make your grass any shape you want to make them, but I'm just making them like little flicks on the ground there. Same thing on this side, just flicking up with my brush. How we doing, guys? How we doing? All right, so that's going to be my grass right there. And the next thing we want to do with the same brush here, I'm using the small brush again, as I said earlier. We're going to paint these two palm trees right here, okay? I'm going to paint those two palm trees. So we have one is a little bit shorter than the next, and one is leaning a little bit, while the other one is a little bit straight. So I'm going to take my black paint with my tiny brush or my small brush, and I'm going to put my first tree over here. So this one is going to be leaning a little bit, okay? This one is leaning a little bit. And I'm going to make the trunk, where it's get closer to the ground, a little bit thicker than the top. So I make the trunk of the tree that is closer to the ground a little bit thicker than the top, than the rest of the trunk, right? And then this tree, I'm going to make it a little bit more straight. Again, I'm going to thicken or broaden the trunk down here of the tree. Just add a little bit more grass going on down here. All right. Take it up a little bit, a little higher, guys, a little higher. Okay. So what I do when I paint palm trees is that, make sure we're doing good with, okay, there we go, we're doing good. What I do when I'm painting palm trees, guys, just gonna tip my brush in the water a little bit just to loosen up some of the paint. What I do when I'm painting palm trees is I make 4 little arches at the very top of the tree, 4 little arches before I do the leaf-like effect right there. So I'm gonna do something like this. I'll just wipe off some of this paint. At the very tip of the tree, not on the sides, but not to the side, but at the very tip, I'm going to do like 4 arches, like a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Okay. So 4 arches right there. Same thing over this tree. I'm going to do 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. All right. So 4 arches. That's what we want to do first. And then what I do to get the little look-alike leaf palm branches right here, see it look like palm leaves. I'm going to start for each of my arch that I just did. I'm going to start right here on the inside. Start on the inside, and I'm going to follow the arch, follow the direction, the curve of the arch. I'm going to use the tip of my brush to just make little lines pop, pop, pop. Just flick, flick, flick with my brush to make little palm tree look-alike leaves. Okay? So again, you want to start on the inside and work your way to the outside. All right? So this one, same thing. Start on the inside, follow the curve, and flick, 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 flick with your brush. Same thing for this one. Follow the curve, flick, 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 flick with the brush. This one as well. Follow the curve, flick, 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 flick with the brush. Okay, to get your little palm branches or palm leaves. Up here, same thing. I'm going to follow the curve, start on the inside, never start on the outside and work your way in. Start on the inside, work your way out. All right, so here we go. I'm just follow the curve and make my little flicks in the same direction of the of the of the arch, okay? Here we go. Same thing for this. Follow the arch, follow the arch. And one more up here. Follow the arch. And guys, if you have a different way that you want to paint your palm trees, that's fine, okay? Just feel free to use your own style and own method as well. All right. All right, that's going to be my two palm trees right there. Okay, all right. We are doing great. All right, so here's what we're going to do next, y'all. What we're going to do next is we're going to wash out this tiny brush and leave it for now. All right. Wash that out. We can leave that for now. And now what I want to do is I want to paint the moon. All right. And I'm going to use my medium brush for that. All right. I'm going to use the medium brush for the moon. How we doing? How we doing? We're doing good? Okay, great. All right. So far we got the sky. We got the water down here. All right. We got our two little lands coming from the side. And we got two palm trees. Woohoo, we're doing great. All right. Next, we're going to use the medium brush. So just kind of wet your brush in the water, wipe it on the paper towel. We just want to make sure it's feeling moist and ready to work for us. Now, for the moon, guys, we're going to do a little bit of mixing. So you can do the mixing in the same plate, or you can use an extra plate. I like to use an extra plate, a different plate for my mixing. So the moon, we're going to do in two phases. We're going to do it first phase, and then we're going to come back to it and add a little bit of extra glow to the moon, right? But here are the colors that we're using for the moon. We're going to scoop up 4 scoops of the yellow orange. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm just going to wipe the brush off. Right, 4 scoops of the yellow orange paint and 1 small scoop of the neon or fluorescent yellow, 1 small scoop of the fluorescent yellow, and a scoop of white. And guys, try to take your paint from the side, okay? A scoop of white, 4 scoops of the yellow orange, 1 small scoop of the yellow, fluorescent yellow, and 1 scoop of white. And I'm going to mix this all up. Mix up these 3 colors for me. So you should have like a nice yellow orange color there. All right, this is our moon color. So you should have something looking like that. Okay. If you took too much of the yellow, the neon yellow, and it's looking a little green, just add another scoop or 2 of the fluorescent yellow orange, okay? I've got some paint on my brush. Okay, there we go. All right, so now that that's mixed up, So what I like to do when I'm painting is circle a sun or a moon, guys. I like to start small and then grow my circle, grow my moon. And while I'm doing that, I can easily manipulate the edges to make it round, to round up the shape of my moon or my sun. So I don't start big with one big circle. I start small. So my moon is going to go somewhere here in the blue and pink section. So it's not exactly in the center, but a little bit towards my left facing the canvas. So I'm going to start somewhere here. As you can see, I'm starting my moon small, my circle small, and I'm just going to keep growing it. This is a relatively small moon. So if you want to make your moon bigger, please feel free. It's your painting. But I'm not making this moon too much bigger. Let me just get my round on. There we go. I think that's going to be the size of this moon. And then I'm just going to add a little paint inside here. Just apply some of the paint on the inside. I'm leaning my brush flat to the side so that I can just drop some of the paint on the moon here. All right. Okay. Guys, that's going to be my moon. That's going to be my moon, moon, moon. Okay, we are doing great. How's your moon looking, y'all? Now, we're going to also use the same brush and the same paint to paint our moon reflection on the water. And as you can see, we're going to start the reflection right here in that open gap. Don't take it above the land, make it in the same, we're going to paint it on the same level so that we are creating the illusion that the sea, that's where the sea line is, okay? So we are creating this illusion that this is where the sea line is by starting that um, moon reflection right there in line with the two pieces of land in the center, right? So I'm going to just, there are different ways to do the reflection, to paint the reflection. I'm gonna, I'm just gonna be using like reflect, like little lines, as you can see on this painting. So something similar to this, I'm gonna be doing on this painting. And I'm gonna start a little bit wide, and then I'm gonna come in a little bit narrow. But you can always change it up if you wish, okay? So we want to start somewhere here in the same, on the same level. There we go. Then I'm going to go a little wide over here. And again, guys, there's not one way to do reflections. So don't be hard on yourself. Just have fun with this. I'm going to start going a bit narrow. That one got away, but it's okay. A bit narrow down here. Okay. And I think that's going to be my reflection right there, y'all. All right. Good, good, good. All right. Just washing up my medium brush here. I'm just going to rest my brushes to the side because I need my paper towel. All right, y'all. Okay, so what we want to do is now we got our sky, we got our water, we got our two little lands, we got our palm, we got our two palm trees right here, we got our moon. We will come back to the moon, as I said before, and we're going to add a little bit of extra glow to the moon. Also, we're going to add this little glow around the moon, okay? I'm going to add a little extra brightness to the moon and this little glow um, around the moon. So we're going to give the moon some time to dry there, but we're going to be coming back to it shortly. All right. So now that we got our reflection on the water, here's what we want to do. We have the grass to paint at the sides right here. All right. And we have two palm branches, two big palm branches hanging off to the side of the canvas. And then we have this, the last thing we're going to be painting will be this big palm tree right here. We want to take care of the moon first before we paint this tree right here. All right. So what we can do while the moon is drying, what we can do is we're going to start painting um, this grass right here. Okay. So as you can see, it starts at an angle, a little bit high, then it goes down to the center, goes low to the center, and then it goes back up high on the other side, okay? Of course, you see that's the color black we're going to be using. So I'm going to be using the medium brush for this. These are some taller grass, all right? I'm using the medium brush with black paint. So medium brush with black paint. And my grass, I'm going to start it somewhere here at an angle, go down low to the center, then I'm going to go back high to the side. So I'm going to start with some tall looking grass, right? So what I want to do is I want to just catch the line, the shape first, and then we'll fill it in afterwards. So I'm going to go down low here in the center, right? Some paint on my brush. Go back high, all right? So we got that. And guys, remember again, you can always change up and add your own style and touch to your painting, okay? So now that we got the outline on the shape of the grass, I'm just going to start filling in down here in black. Start filling out below in black. Who's proud of their work so far, guys? Are you proud of your painting so far? Is it glowing? Do you like the glow? I love the glow. It looks great. So now we're just filling this in. Filling this in, all this grass space down here. Guys, I'm sure you're doing great. You're doing great. Just trust the process. As I always like to say, trust the process. All right. I'm just going to take my brush and just kind of retouch some of the end of the grass here. Just kind of retouch a little bit. There we go. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think that will cut it. Okay, let's add a little one flying up here. Okay, there we go. Okay, y'all. We're doing great. We're doing great. All right. So what we can do as well is we can take the same brush with the black paint, and we're going to go ahead and paint these two big palm branches that are hanging off the screen there, or hanging off the canvas. All right. So we're going to make one and two. Make it a little bit longer. There we go. One and two. All right. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to take the brush, and we're going to make these little lines pop, 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 pop in the same direction of the curve to make our look-alike palm branches, right? Our palm leaves. All right. So we're using the same, just going in using the brush and make these little lines going in the same direction of the arch. All right. And making our little palm branches. There we go. So we got those two big leaves, our two big branches hanging off the side, coming off the side of the canvas. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to wash out this brush now. We're going to go back to our moon. Just be sure that your moon is dry, or mostly dry. Mostly dry will work as well. All right. So we're going to go back and add that little extra glow, extra brightness to our moon, as well as the little glow around the moon. So just wash out that brush nice and clean for me, guys. All right. We're going to use it. And this time we're going to be using not the paint that we mixed up, not the yellow and custom color that we mixed up. We're going to use the yellow orange paint all by itself. Okay. So we're using the bright yellow orange paint all by itself. And I'm just going to very gently start applying this paint over my moon. Okay. Just lean the brush to the side. I'm just leaning my brush to the side and applying this yellow orange paint. And guys, please try to stay inside of the moon, stay inside of the circle. All right. Try to stay inside of your circle. Mhm. So just lean that brush to the side. And if you need your moon to dry a little bit longer, then you can always just pause the video and have it dry a little bit better. Okay, that should be good. Now we are using fluorescent paint. It's a little tricky sometimes. You just got to work with it and play around with it. All right. All right. Not only that, but while you got that brush, take the small brush, the smallest brush that you have. Make sure it's clean, nice and clean. And we're going to add a few little lines of that bright paint as well in our moon reflection on the water. Okay. Um, so do me a favor. Just take we're coming back to the medium brush, but in fact, let's just finish the medium brush first. Let's just finish off with the medium brush. Let's do that. Let's add this little glow around the moon, okay? Let's add this little glow around the moon. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my brush, take up some of the yellow orange paint right here. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wipe off the heavy paint on my paper towel. And I'm just gonna take my brush and very gently go around my moon to add that little extra glow. All right, and the reason we wiped off the brush is because we don't want the glow to be as bright as the moon itself, right? So what I did, I just wiped off the brush. So I'm going to take some more paint on my brush, wipe it off on the paper towel, and go again. We're adding that little extra glow around our moon. It's a wonderful moon night. All right. And if you want to extend your glow much wider, please feel free. That is fine. I'm not going to make mine too wide, but well, I could take it out a little bit wider. Let's see. Yeah. Let's take out my glow there a little bit wider. But feel free to make it the size you want to make it, okay? One more little touch here. Just make sure my glow is right on the moon, right up on the moon there. Okay, I think that's good. A little bit more glow on this side. Yeah. There we go, guys. All right, we got some glow, glow, glow. Woohoo. All right, now I can wash out this medium brush and just, did I flip this paper towel yet? I guess I did. All right. You can wash out that medium brush nice and clean and leave it to the side. We're coming right back to it to finish off with the big tree. We're going to go to the smallest brush that you have, and I'm going to wet it a little bit if it's dry. Now, what I was saying earlier is we're going to take a little bit of the same bright yellow orange paint, and we're just going to make a few little small lines in the moon reflection on the water. Okay, we just want to spike it a little bit. So I'm just going to take some of the glow paint here, or the yellow orange paint, and we don't want to make these too broad. Okay, these are not going to be broad lines. Just want to make a few little narrow lines um, along here in the reflection. All right, just want to spike it a little bit. There we go. Spike it a little bit. And a little bit up here. Mm-hmm. Just gonna spike the reflection a bit there with the bright paint. And I think that's gonna be it. All right, that should be it. Just wanted to add a little spike there to a little extra glow there to the reflection as well. And right here. Okay, good. There we go. All right. You can wash out that brush as well. And we're going to actually be done with the small brush for now. And I'm going back to the medium brush. Remember to wash out the medium brush for me nice and clean. All right, guys, so how we doing? How we doing? How we doing? I can't wait to see your paintings. All right. All right, so next, the final step is we're going to be painting this big palm tree right here. As you can see, it's coming off from the ground on here. down here, and I'm going to take it a little bit close out right to the edge of this little land, okay, right below the moon. But we're not going into the moon now. We're going to go right below the moon. All right. Of course, we're using black paint. And if your black paint feels a little stucky, guys, you can always just tip your brush in the water a little bit, and the point of your brush there, and just kind of, the water will help to kind of loosen up the black paint. The Mars black, we're using Mars black. It will help to loosen up the Mars black paint there a bit. All right, so I'm going to be taking my big tree somewhere here from the side. I'm going to take it right up along here. All right. So right here and right up under the moon. And then I'm gonna thicken this tree a little bit more. This is the big one. All right. Take it right up under my moon. Okay. Let's take this up a little bit there. Give it more of a little curve. All right. And then I'm going to be adding my 4. Remember how we did the palm trees? I'm going to add 4 arches at the very top of the tree. Now these are going to be a bit bigger because this is a bigger tree. All right. So I'm going to go 1, 2. I need some paint. I need some paint, Mark. 2 and a 3 and a 4. So I'll just get paint on my brush. Okay, there we go. All right. So I got my 4 arches, guys. And remember the strategy or the method that we used? My method is we're going to start on the inside and we're going to follow the curve and tap, 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 tap with the lines, making our little palm tree leaves. All right. Same thing for this one right here. And these you can make bigger because it's a bigger tree, bigger branches. All right. Follow the curve, start on the inside, work your way to the outside. And I'm just following the curve and just making my palm tree leaves. Can't wait to see y'all painting, y'all. Okay, there goes my big tree. Guys, I am done with this painting. Now, if you wanted to, you could always add some stars in the sky, some yellow stars or pink stars, whichever. Or you could mix it up, but that's optional. That's up to you. Anything else you want to add to your painting, that is fine. That is fine. It's your masterpiece. Can't wait to see it. All right, but that's gonna be it for this painting. I'm gonna just use my small brush to let me just rub out. Hold on 1 second. See a little bit of heavy paint right here. Just rub this out. Okay, there we go. So remember, the final step is always to sign your masterpiece. All right, guys, this has been a fun piece, and look how beautiful your painting is. All right, so the final step is always to sign your masterpiece. I'm just going to use my small brush, the smallest brush I have. You can use any color paint you choose. I will use the yellow orange just to put my initials. You can put your signature or initials. I'm going to put my initials somewhere here. All right, that's going to be it. And friends, painters, here we go. Great job, everyone. Can't wait to see your awesome paintings. All right, so again, thanks for being on the video. Thanks for being a part of the community. And look forward for the next painting together. All right. Great job, y'all. Great job. Okay.